So tell me when we're live.
Whoops.
We're live.
Oh.
Feet dancing.
Hello, folks. It's the Podsquad with Jane Maulucci, Colleen Roberts, Wendy Card, and yours truly, George Oliver.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you for joining us for Pal's podcast for August 20th, 2020. We are at episode 153.
And we're connecting you with the community by talking about the people and places in New Bern and beyond.
So join in the conversation. Yeah.
Woo.
Welcome. Hope everybody is doing well on this Friday Eve, Thursday, August 20th.
I like that. Friday Eve. I think that's a really good term.
Need it after this week.
Yeah.
Before we get started, we want to talk real quick about our contest that we have going on to be entered to win. You have to comment during today's show, and it can't be on the pages that share this podcast. It has to be on the New Bern Now Facebook page where this podcast originates. Can't be on somebody else's page, and it won't count if you do that. So make sure you comment on the New Bern Now Facebook page. At 150, we will announce the winner. The contest is going to be over at that point. And if you answered correctly, your name will be entered into a drawing to win a prize. And then Wendy's going to announce the winner at about 7 o'clock tonight. Right, Wendy?
Woo-hoo. Yeah,
All
people
right.
comment. You need to comment, folks.
You got to comment.
You
So
get
what
a
is the
special
contest?
prize.
What's the
What's the
contest question?
Okay, the question. What college was the nation's first public four-year college for Native Americans?
Oh,
Ah!
you kept adding information, which meant I did not know the answer.
All these other parameters.
Yeah, exactly.
So
the
one
name-
more time. What
Yeah.
college was the nation's first public four-year college for Native Americans? So
You're looking for the name of the college, not the name of the town.
Oh,
All right.
because I think I know the town.
And
well,
you're not
you'll
looking.
be able to answer at 150. So
Well, we can't answer. They have to answer.
right, but
Hi.
we'll provide the answer at that time.
Oh,
The
okay.
people have to guess up until then. So
Right.
yeah.
So we don't have anybody yet, but that's because they're still Googling.
Well, you can't Google. That's no fair. Let's say you can't Google, but you can ask someone. You can phone a friend.
Phone
Phone
a friend.
Okay.
Don't phone me because I don't know the answer to this one, although I'm keen to guess.
How about text? Text a
Yeah.
friend?
Text your friend. You can
Text a friend.
and
All
what's
right.
the prize, Wendy? What's the prize?
It's it's a surprise. It's a grab bag. So you go
Ooh.
down to Carolina Creations and you pick whatever is wrapped, and it's a surprise prize.
A surprise.
Prize.
Yeah.
Prize squared.
You never know what
Probably-
you're gonna get.
It'll be something awesome there. Some kind of neat piece of art, maybe, or
Maybe. Well,
Something wonderful. You always get
Yeah.
something wonderful there.
Mhm.
Or maybe-
well, we provide the prizes. They store it for us. So that way it
Fair.
gets people in the door for them. So
Right.
so,
But
so they
so
can
it's
come.
a pickup location.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So
Super
what's
duper.
going on, you guys?
How is everyone? George Oliver, where in the heck have you been?
Where have I been? Let's see. Today, I've been right here. Love
And the
it.
air conditioning's working, right?
Downtown Newark, yes. I have been on a trip recently. I had some court. I had some court last week. I think court last week. I think there's still some courts are virtual, some courts are in person. It seems like all the judges have different rules on whether you wear a mask or whether you don't. Most of them want you to wear masks, but some of them have you take them off when you're speaking to them. And I have a mask that my partner Clayton Cheek gave me, and it ties up here and down here. It has two strings, which is good because my hearing aids get in the way of regular masks.
Oh,
And,
yeah, it's awful.
so I wear that one, and it's it's terrible. I'm worried they're going to fall out. I'm going to lose them, and that's going to be a big deal. Not just because I can't hear, but one of the judges in particular I was in front of last week, he wants you to take the mask off when you're speaking. And so it's kind of a big deal to untie and tie two of these things. So what I've started doing is just untying the top, and the bottom, it looks like I'm wearing a tiny bib. So I have to, it doesn't look good. It's not a fashion statement. It's a tiny bib, as if I were a child that's waiting for my applesauce. And so, it's been, some judges don't. The judges are, I guess, far enough away where it's okay. But it's been interesting adjusting to all this, But
we're still enjoying Banjoy.
Banjoy
every day. You
Yes.
make me
Yes.
smile.
Thank you.
Yes.
Making people happy in the morning.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And George, what
Yeah,
kind of cases do you do?
Our firm, we like to say our tagline we have is your business partner. So we'll handle any sort of business matter. A lot of what I do is work with companies and individuals that are in financial trouble. Sometimes that means bankruptcy. Sometimes it means a workout or an alternative to bankruptcy. Sometimes it's just shutting a business down that can't support itself anymore and dealing with creditors to help do that. But we also help people start businesses, and we handle employment law matters and trusts and wills and estates. Clayton does a lot of that. And we do, we represent any sort of lawsuit, either defending or bringing, that are related to a business court type matter. So any business related, that's what we do here. And we got offices here in New Bern and Raleigh and Wilson. And then we also have remote locations in Greenville and Wilmington that we don't staff, but we have as a convenience to clients that need to meet with us down there.
Nice.
All right.
And for anybody who's watching who's never been to New Bern and seen George's office, they have the most awesome patio.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And that's available. We like to let nonprofits and small groups use that for different events. So certainly we haven't been using as much here recently, but once things calm down a little bit more, if you're interested, you need to hold an event of some kind, and you want a unique location in downtown New Bern, we can help you with that.
Ooh.
So, yeah, it's neat because it's a patio and it's outside. It's got a partly covered part, but it's surrounded on all sides by the walls. And so it's private, but also the bugs haven't figured out where we are yet. The bugs don't come up, I guess, over the building and come into it. Yeah, I know, don't tell them. But it's never any.
Well, now you've ruined it.
Yeah.
Now they all know.
Yeah, the bugs don't come up there, so it's nice. It's a pretty spot.
Go ahead,
What have
George.
y'all been? Oh, I was going to ask Wendy what creek she's in.
In Island
Wendy, are you
Creek
in a creek?
Trail. They got great reception out here.
Oh, beautiful.
Just don't fall back in the creek.
Yeah, like George,
There she
disappear
goes
into the
again.
water. Yeah, it's a beautiful place to hike, and it's great. You can bring your pets, make sure they're on a leash, and it's just gorgeous. So, but make sure you wear insect repellent. So,
Unlike
over
George's patio.
Yeah, exactly. That's over there on the border of Jones County and Craven County, right? If you go down Bryce's Creek Road.
yes, yeah, it's
Pretty-
gorgeous. And No Bite Me works. It's it's not a toxic, like the DEET spray.
Yeah.
So check out No Bite Me. It's Salamander product. You can get it online. And no, they're not a sponsor or anything, but I really believe in the product. It smells like cedar wood, so it smells
Ooh.
really good. Yeah.
That's great.
Is it like an organic type of thing, or is it just like? Because I've used I tried to use organic deodorant one time, and it did not work. And I was on a plane, and I had people around me. I was like, I'm so sorry. I tried this organic. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No,
Maybe
no,
your
it
spray.
smells really good. Yeah, no, but it's different oils, but it really works, except for your deodorant. Unlike Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
It
Go ahead,
really
Wendy.
does not.
Now you go ahead, Colleen.
no, I was just gonna tell Jane that if her ears were ringing, we were talking about her last week.
Uh-oh, what did I do? Or
We
what
had-
didn't I do?
We had Deborah Kanya on the podcast to give us a tour of the new Small Business Center, and she mentioned you and Bob Mikowski and how much help you have been to her. And so, for people who don't know what you're doing, I thought this was a really good opportunity to not only talk about your assistance at the Small Business Center, but in general, what you do, how your services help people.
Well, thanks. Well, my company is the Reactive Voice, and I deliver words that make sense. And I do that through creating content for people's websites and marketing materials. And I also work with the Small Business Center to help people, especially now through COVID, because they've got a special grant, as Deborah told you. But people are trying to figure out new messaging for this whole time to reach out to their clients and still stay top of mind. And also just to take the time to look at their websites and see what the message is that they're putting out there and see if it can be worded better or arranged better or whatever. And I also work with people to get press releases put together and just make sure that they've got a consistent, constant image that's memorable. And I'm a writer. Who knew? That's memorable, positively memorable, so that people can say, oh, that's the one that I want to do business with. George Oliver, heck of a guy. I want to have him take care of my company for me. So, these are the types of things that I do. And I also do training through the Small Business Center. I've got a training coming up in Wilson Small Business Center, but it's going to be online. So you can sign up through the Wilson Small Business Center and still take part in this. It's a 2-part. It'll be on September 22nd and September 29th. And it's
Jane.
based and it's
We lost you there for a minute, Jane. Do you want to
Yeah,
repeat?
What did you
Frozen or
hold
is
up?
Jane frozen?
it's my book is You Can Make a Living at That, and it's really to help small businesses think like big businesses and to take advantage of all the things that I learned while I was working corporate. Did I break up again?
No, George.
I guess George is now.
What's going on with the internet?
I
Well, it's
know.
Zoom.
George, you're frozen.
Yeah, but
Maybe
Jane,
he's not.
Jane, your book is awesome. I've
Thank
read it and I passed it on to someone else. So hopefully.
Right. Well,
it'll make
the
it-
class is all about that so that people can get their message together, figure out who their target market is. It's just a general, let's get rolling and get out there into the marketplace kind of course. So, and it's free through the Wilson Small Business Center. So sign up through there. And you get a copy of the book.
There you go.
George is back.
George, up, you're muted, George, or else you're doing your Marcel Marceau.
I was here listening to Jane, and she turned into a robot, and I thought, I think it might be me. But it was me, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm sorry. I
It was
switched.
both of you.
It's okay. We're very serious people here, by the way.
We are.
Yeah, very.
Serious about business and stuff too. Yeah.
So, Wendy, we have a couple of people in the waiting room who are going to join our podcast today. Who are we going to start with?
Yeah, I think Tommy Bell has been in the waiting room longer. I'm not sure there's a phone number. Somebody's calling in via phone, so I don't recognize the number.
I hope he
they
has-
just left. So,
I hope he has some furry friends.
but Tommy is, let's see, let's move him into the room.
Tommy Bell.
Okay.
Tommy is with Craven Pamlico Animal Services. So
Ooh,
I'll
neat.
be interested to see if the backdrop is like a litter of kittens.
And we'll all have to take one before the podcast is over,
Oh.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If it was a
Hey.
puppy, you could talk me into it. Tommy, we need your picture. We can't see you, but at
I
least we'll be able to
know.
hear you.
Yes.
Tommy, you there?
Maybe he's having robot problems just like George and Jane. We are, while we're trying to get Tommy into the room, we're also going to talk to the Craven Arts Council and Gallery. I am so interested in this bucket challenge with Ace Hardware. I saw it on Facebook, but it wasn't really clear what it is. So Debbie Gibson, not the artist, George, is coming on today. I expected you to start singing.
I think that was before George was born.
Oh,
Debbie Gibson. No, I remember Debbie Gibson. That was straight up middle school dance.
Yeah.
oh, wow.
Isn't it? I think we're alone now.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you had a poster on your wall, right?
I may have had a sister that had a poster of that on her wall. I'm not sure.
No, George slept with the poster curled up next to him because he loved Debbie Gibson so much. Oh, goodness. So we're going to talk about the Askew's Ace Hardware and the National Bucket Challenge. But it looks like we're having some trouble getting folks into the podcast.
Tommy, are you there?
Is it like the ice bucket challenge? Is it
I
No.
don't think so.
No.
put something else in the bucket and dump it on your head?
See.
Yeah, this was a bucket full of sand, George. You had to put the bucket of sand on your head.
Yeah.
Or hardware?
Nuts and
Tools
bolts.
and nuts and bolts and
Okay, you want to do a social media minute while we're waiting on Tommy? Tommy,
Sure.
if you're able, if you can activate your video and microphone, you may have to leave and come back.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's do a social media minute.
All right.
Susan. Thanks
so
for
let's
watching.
see.
Hello, ladies and George from Rob Jones. Hey,
Yeah.
Rob Jones,
Rob.
we miss you, buddy.
Roland
Roland
Bowen and the real estate team.
Yeah, Roland.
Hi.
Good afternoon, every afternoon, Roland. Hope the home sales is doing great. So
Right. And Cassandra Crowder. Hello, Cassandra, bicycling queen.
The first person I had pop in was my lovely wife, Dare, with a big wave. And
Aw.
Oh, nice.
close behind Dare was Pam.
Pam.
Pam Yancey. And Pam out of town today. She's traveling. So she wrote hello, and then she said, I won't get in trouble today. I'm on vacay. So
That doesn't make sense.
But don't post and drive.
Yeah.
no, that's true. That's true. And Patricia Bagwell, Patty Bagwell, hello.
Patty,
Yeah.
happy belated birthday. It was 2
Right,
days
she just-
ago, I think.
Yeah.
So while everybody is watching, let's go over the contest question again, Wendy.
It is, okay, what college was the nation's first four-year college for Native Americans?
So you have to comment on the New Bern Now Facebook page on the Facebook Live for this podcast in order to be entered to win. And Rob Jones, I think you just can't participate. Okay, buddy? Because he
What was
wins.
that?
all
He
the
knows
time.
too much.
Is it a hint? Did Rob go there? Is this a hint? No, I don't know.
Mm.
I'm guessing. I have no idea. I have no reason to think that. But with the rules, you can't Google it, but you can ask a friend.
Yeah, phone a friend or text a friend.
And if you happen to text Wendy as that friend, you'll probably get the correct answer.
But she won't text you back though till like 2:30 when the podcast is over.
Right.
'Cause she has her
Actually,
hands full.
it may be tomorrow because I'm horrible at texting. So if you really want to get a hold of me, call me.
10-4.
All right,
Well, I feel bad for Tommy. He's just kind of hanging out at the bottom of the
I know.
screen. And
Tommy, please.
Tommy,
can we send him a message in the chat?
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Yeah, and try your the two little arrows next to your microphone and your camera, and that might help you. Give you some options there.
So while we're working on that, I will share some of the city stuff that's going on around here. I don't know if you saw our announcement earlier this week, but we announced the winner of our United Badges blood drive that we had at the end of July. So this is formerly known as the Battle of the Badges. It is a blood drive with the American Red Cross, and it puts New Bern Police Department against New Bern Fire Rescue to see who can recruit the most blood donations. But we thought with COVID going on that, you know, it would be best to create a united event. So we changed it to United Badges.
Nice.
But if you came, I know, I thought that was a good idea too. But if you came to give blood that day, you know that we still asked you for your vote at the check-in. Do you want to give for the fire department or do you want to give for police? So we announced the winner and we exchanged the trophy via Facebook Live. That was yesterday. And so the New Bern Police Department recruited 159 blood donations and fire rescue recruited 106.
Wow.
So I would say that fire rescue got smoked.
Oh,
But I was trying to come up with something law enforcement related, you know.
Well, good for them. That's awesome. Because fire rescue won last time, right?
Well, they were 2-2. They've each won 2 battles of the badges. So,
Oh, wow.
Anyway, the overall goal was saving lives, and ultimately, this blood that we have collected has the capacity to save 714 people's lives. So
Wow.
that's the most important thing. So that was really fun. We will do another Battle of the Badges in 2021. We were doing them twice a year, but now we're going to combine them into once a year. So quick shout out though to, you know, the brand new Panda Express. They gave us a ton of free meal coupons for everyone who donated blood that day. McDonald's, Purcell Foods, Bill Purcell gave us the same thing, a free value meal at McDonald's. It was wonderful. Thank you for your generosity. And Tom Pike, who is such a big American Red Cross supporter, also gave us gift cards for all kinds of things to Chick-fil-A. So we couldn't host a meal because of COVID. You know, we couldn't have a big buffet. So we really relied on the support of the restaurants in our community, and those 3 showed up and showed up handsomely because everybody went home with at least one free meal.
Outstanding.
That's
So that
super.
was really neat.
Yeah.
Did we figure out Tommy's situation, or should I keep going?
You just keep going. I haven't heard back from him, so.
You just give me like the wrap up signal
Yeah.
if things come alive with Tommy Bell.
Oh, what? And real quick, Talina. Hi, Talina. She said hi,
Oh,
guys.
yeah. Hey, she says, hi,
We
guys.
gotta have you back soon. We miss you.
And my mother-in-law, Delta Roberts, joined. Hi, Mama.
Delta.
So yes, make sure you comment on the page. We have been known to just give away stuff to people who comment on the page. Right?
Yeah.
Say hi.
You just never know when you're gonna get a gift.
That's right.
And Colleen, what I want to, I know you're not going to tell me, but do you share your secret recipe for crab cakes when you were cooking on Taste Bud Adventure?
Yes. I don't know that I really have a secret crab cake recipe. It just kind of, when you're born and raised in Maryland, I think like you're born with it ingrained, you know, in your head. But I would be happy to put together a recipe for crab cakes. This is so funny because Laura and Wendy and I were talking on Pollock Street a few days ago, and we got to talking about crab cakes. Of course, Laura just loves crab cakes too. So it was a great conversation. Made me really hungry. I had to go get something to eat after that. But I will show you what I made last weekend. Let's see if I can do this again. Oh my gosh, it was one of my finer moments. Can you guys see that?
Oh my goodness.
That salmon that I made.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. And the recipe is there in one of those window panes. So if you want to know how to make it, it was a Bon Appetit recipe that I got from their magazine, and it was so stinking easy. You basically just layered a bunch of citrus in the bottom and some dill and fennel. You lay the salmon in there with salt and pepper on it, and you cover the whole thing with 3/4 of a cup of olive oil, and it just slow roasts for about an hour. And it was so flaky and delicious. One of the things I liked about it was the recipe said, don't try to slice it into pretty slices, just break it up with your hands so you can really see inside the fillet of the salmon, you know. So I tore it up gently with my hands and put it on my platter, and
Delicious.
there was not much left of that stuff, let me tell you what. It was really delicious. But
Yum.
Taste Bud Adventure is just a fun project I started about 18 months ago, and I hope down the road it may turn into a website and a blog, but right now I'm just excited to show people what I'm cooking, new things that I'm trying, you know, recipes that I like to share that turn out to be some of the good things that I've made. My stepfather was a chef and was a huge inspiration on me for cooking. He was always trying something new. And my best way to describe him is he could take, you know, black beans, a peach, and a stalk of celery and make something incredibly gourmet out of it. I mean, he could make anything. So I like to cook, and that's my little fun project. By day, I work in public relations for the city of New Bern. And you know, with COVID going on, it's a little harder to keep up with the fun things that I do on the side, like Taste Bud Adventure. So I haven't had a tremendous amount of content to date, but maybe Jane will be able to help in that respect.
I think it's really important to have a hobby, you know.
Yeah.
Especially now. We
It
can't
really
all play instruments like George, but yeah, it's important.
Well, especially cooking, Colleen, is that maybe you have more time for it now, right? I mean, that's pretty neat. You can try some different things and, you know, more time at home and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it certainly is a vice, you know, helps with stress and things like that. Last night I made this recipe. It was supposed to go in a crock pot, but I was like, who's got time for that? I got home. I was like, what am I going to make? It's called, and I'll have to share it. The recipe was called Weeknight Goulash. And it was basically like beef tips in a Worcestershire, brown sugar, paprika sauce.
My stomach is growling.
I had never made it before. Of course, I'd had beef tips before, but never had tried this recipe. And then you pour it over egg noodles, you know, and serve it. And so I said to my husband, Kevin, you know, I'm like, I had braised it kind of in the oven for a while, and I'm stirring up this big pot of beef tips and sauce. And I was like, I don't know about this, honey. We both were, I was like throwing elbows to like keep him back away from the pot, like, so I could have some. It was so good.
What do you think makes it weeknight goulash as opposed to like a weekend goulash? Right?
I don't know.
Is it
No,
quick?
Maybe less prep? Yeah.
I think because it's one of those things that like in the morning you could throw everything in the crock pot, you know. And
Oh,
then
okay. Yeah.
So kind of like weeknight goulash.
Then it's done when you get home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I hadn't thought about that. My beef tips were not thawed yesterday morning. So I was like, okay, we're going to have to modify this a little bit, but it was delicious. And there was like this much left over. And Kevin was like, why don't you take that for lunch tomorrow? And I was like, it's not even going to be around tomorrow. So anyway, it was delicious. I'll share it with you, Wendy, and I'm sure it'll be on Taste Bud Adventure in short order, but I didn't take any pictures of it. We just gobbled it up like a couple of little pigs.
But that's a good sign. It didn't last long enough for you to take pictures. You just need to give a picture of the empty bowl.
That's it. It gives the empty bowl a whole new thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colleen's going to have her own empty bowl adventure. Here you go. It was that good.
Yeah, your
right.
business will be how much is left. So like if it's a bowl, it's the best stuff you ever made. And if there's half portion, you know, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But if you still have a lot of it left, you know, maybe not.
Don't make this one again. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be like, guess what, everybody? This is, answer number 2. It's okay. Got half of it left.
Yeah.
It's funny though, every time I post something that was really good, the fire department says, we have shifts that are here every night at dinner time. We could really use if you want to cook for somebody.
Yeah.
I have taken stuff by there a couple times. They really enjoy it, but they're like, okay, we'll be your guinea pigs anytime.
Nice.
So, anyway. Some of the other stuff going on at the City of New Bern, don't forget, tomorrow night we have Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is showing on the big inflatable movie screen at Lawson Creek Park.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh my goodness. I'm pretty sure Raiders was sold out like a week ago. All of the movies have so far, but Saturday's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So that'll be a good one too. Parks and Rec has done an incredible job of finding and creating other content and summer things to do, while everybody's cooped up, or, a lot of things are unfortunately still not open because of COVID. So those are 2 movies on the calendar. Also, on a more serious note, 2 important upcoming meetings that I want to tell you about. The first one is, as you know, our Stanley White Recreation Center was flooded and the interior pretty much destroyed during Hurricane Florence. And we need public input on where we're going with this project: renovations, relocating, rebuilding, that sort of thing. Okay, so there is a public input meeting August 31st at the Omega Center, which is at 800 Cedar Street. The meeting lasts from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., but you don't have to be there for the entire meeting. It's a drop-in style meeting. You'll get to meet some of the consultants that are assisting us on this project. You'll get to ask questions, look at some of the data on storyboards and things that we have. So August 31st, put that on your calendar. Stop by whenever you'd like between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m., 800 Cedar Street at the Omega Center. Very important meeting. And then we're still working out the details on this one, but I believe it's going to be Thursday, September 10th. We are having, speaking of Hurricane Florence, the City of New Bern is really focused on improving New Bern's resiliency for natural disasters and other emergencies. And so we are working with Moffitt and Nickel to put together a hazard mitigation and resiliency plan. And we're having a community presentation and Q&A on September 10th. It's going to be in the evening from 6 to 8. But this is the really cool thing about this meeting. So if you are, have spotty internet or no place to see this meeting, you can go to Development Services on First Street, or you can come to City Hall and watch the meeting in person. Now the meeting's going to be conducted via Zoom, but you'll be able to come to those 2 places, socially distanced, please wear a mask, and you'll be able to watch the meeting on screens that we'll have. We're also asking folks for the Q&A part. If you want to join via Zoom, you can. We're also going to push the meeting out to Facebook Live. So really an opportunity to get your first education on what is a resiliency plan? How does this work? How long is it going to take? We really want folks to attend. So again, September 10th, we're producing posters with the Zoom link on there. We're also putting a QR code on there, so you can just zap it with your phone and you'll automatically have access to the Zoom meeting. Or you can come in person, City Hall, Development Services. So this is really our first community presentation on resiliency and where we're headed in this vein. So I hope a lot of folks will participate. Very, very important topic for coastal and regional communities, in North Carolina and other seaboards as well. So should be an interesting meeting.
Okay.
I promise I'll be quiet now.
I was just going to say, Colleen, you've done a fantastic job of really thinking these things through so that people can participate. And I really want to commend you and the rest of the team to having that broad scope to enable people to really be able to get there and have their voices heard and be involved. Because it's our community and you want to be involved. So
Yes.
nice work.
Thank
Yay.
you. You really have, thank
Yeah.
you. You really have to think outside the box.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
want people to be able to attend a meeting, but your capacity is lower because we have to be socially distanced.
Right.
So what other means are you going to use to get it to your audience?
Yeah.
So we have had many conference calls and emails about how we're going to pull this off. So Jane, we might need your IT skills.
I'll be rooting for you. I'll leave it to the professionals.
Yeah. Good luck with that. No.
So yeah, that's some items that we have coming up on our agenda. So it's a busy place around here.
Yeah, that's
Well,
great.
Speaking of IT skills, my computer crashed last week and I couldn't even get on New Bern Now. I couldn't even get on the internet. And I did a system restore and it was like 20 minutes had gone by and I'm thinking it was just the circle just kept going around. And I called 21st Century Computers, Steve Smith and Beth, his team member there. She said, Wendy, you do a system restore 3 times and it's usually 3 times is a charm. And she was right, and it worked. And we have some great IT services here in New Bern.
Mhm.
Chris Wagner with Solutions of New Bern, Computer Solutions of New Bern. Sorry, Chris, I'm botching your business name, but 21st Century Computers, Bear Tech Solutions.
I've used Bear Tech. They were
Yeah.
great for me. They took care of my situation.
Yeah, what's that, George?
I was going to say we use Base 2, Chris Lupton, and we've used him since we started our law firm, and he is just fantastic with service and really, really quick and get in our computers and do everything remote. So it's, yeah, another great service.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's vital to have them handy, instead of calling someone that you have no idea that's going to be going remotely into your computer is a scary thing. So we have some great resources in New Bern.
Local
Wendy,
resources.
Is
Yeah,
that the
local.
one, Wendy, is that the one out by the movie theater in that, is Chris the one that's
That's Chris.
Okay. I remember one
kind
time I had a computer issue and Wendy was saying that he's right near the movie theater on News.
He's across.
Steve Smith is on News near the movie theater, and Chris is over off of Trent Road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Bear Tech is down in the Omarks building.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
We've had them on the show before. They were fun.
Yeah, we have to have them back.
Yeah.
So,
That was a good time.
yeah.
Right.
I don't know what's
Anybody
going
in
on.
the waiting room?
Yeah, we had 3 guests scheduled.
They
hopefully
flew too.
we still have time, and I think they may have been having technical issues. It's one of those days. Let's see, social media. Hi, Lorelei. Thanks for watching. And the gardens at Triumph Hell. What's that, George?
Whoever started singing the Debbie Gibson song, I think We're Alone Now, was prescient. Because, in fact, the guests aren't here, Colleen. I think
We're alone now. Doesn't seem to be anyone around. Wow, I jinxed us.
Debbie Gibson's one of our 3 guests. Come on, Debbie.
Yeah.
She's in the waiting room, but she's just not ready yet.
There you go. That's right. She's
That's
getting ready
right.
to come back on stage.
That's
with
right.
her.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and Jamisha Harris, hi.
Oh, there she
You
is.
gotta join us one of these days. Just
I know.
give me a holler.
I
I
must
know
be
you're
on-
busy, so we really appreciate all that you're doing, but give me a call or contact me. And
Don't text her though. That doesn't work.
No, don't text.
yeah, I'm not. She's the generation that is probably more apt to text. So we'll meet in the middle by a phone call.
She'll come on with some IT skills.
Yeah.
Fix
Yeah.
everything. I'm must be on
Yeah.
a delay because you say hi to people and I look on the stream and I'm like, who is she talking to? And then it shows up several seconds later. So.
Oh, are you looking at it on Facebook? There's definitely a delay. I think it's about 10 or 12 seconds.
Is it?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I have it muted, but over here on my other screen from
Yeah.
Facebook.
Me too.
It does take a while. All right. So you mentioned the gardens at Tryon Palace, right, Wendy? They're now open 7 days a week.
Yay! Those are a wonderful place to go and hide. Just wander around and escape, to get out of your house. And if you have a garden, out of your own garden and see somebody that's really done a great job.
Yes. Especially this morning. It was so nice and cool this morning.
Oh, yeah. It was a beautiful
Yeah.
It was. It is a message that September is coming and October is coming. Cooler temperatures. So Tryon Palace is still following the governor's phase 2 restart orders. But the palace, the history center, and the historical homes given that are not open to the public. But the gardens are now open 7 days a week. The grounds will be open to ticketed visitors. Tickets to view the gardens are available at the Way Station ticket office, and that is located at 610 Pollock Street. But that is super, super good news that the gardens are open.
Yeah.
So you can go see the majesty of all of the beautiful flowers and bushes that they have going on.
And that kitchen garden is phenomenal. Yeah. You should love that one, Colleen, because it's all the herbs and the vegetable. Oh, it's just marvelous.
I'm like, we need to, harvest and work together and, like dry some basil and stuff, I just need to put on my little colonial apron and go over there.
There you go.
You can see
Work
it
in
now.
the kitchen garden. So, and then RCS's food pantry and community kitchen, they're both in critical need of several items, especially as we head into the fall months and approach the holidays. All of your donations can be dropped off at the warehouse, which is located at 919 George Street. Warehouse hours are Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And here are some of the things that they are in need of. Any canned fruit, canned spaghetti sauce, mac and cheese, which is George Oliver's favorite.
Yes.
Diapers and baby formula, ramen noodles, SpaghettiOs and ravioli. As we head into the cooler months, they're also looking for mittens and gloves. They need plastic grocery bags. Hamburger Helper is a great food staple and easy to prepare, so they would love that donation, as well as canned meat, cereal, and blankets as we head into the fall and winter months as well. So if you can get those donations together and drop them off Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 919 George Street. Religious Community Services would love your donation.
Yes,
Great.
definitely.
Get in that pantry and see what you don't need.
Right. For all your stuff. So Wendy, we have 6 minutes before we announce the winner and give away the answer to the question. Do you want to give people now 5 minutes to text or phone a friend?
Okay, what's the answer to this question? What college was the nation's first public 4-year college for Native Americans? Comment. Come on, folks, comment. We know you know the answer, so.
I have a question, a clarifying question. It only allows Native Americans to enroll?
No, it was the nation's first public 4-year college for Native Americans specifically.
Okay. I didn't know such a place existed, so I'm very interested to hear
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
Stumped.
Well, you guys probably know. I've heard of it.
I probably do.
I'm not from North Carolina, but I've heard of it. So.
Oh, so in North Carolina, there's a critical.
Oh, okay. Then it's not where I thought it was.
Oh no, Wendy.
He says, I'm not from the Piedmont, but I'm not from the coastal plains
Wink, wink.
or the town of.
Right.
Man, I'm bad. I
Well, of
blew
course,
that one.
We didn't have to throw out there that, we kind of threw you under the bus by saying, oh.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Wendy.
We're just trained to do that, though. That's part of his, lawyering skills.
I think
Right.
here because it's a hard one.
Mhm.
I don't think any of the three of us know it, do we? I don't.
I don't.
Yeah.
No, I was guessing what town it was in, but it's obviously not in that state.
So that narrowed that down for you.
Yeah. There's only another 49 to go.
Right.
Well, another, not a hint, but like maybe a way to think about it is you did say it's a public university, so it's part of the UNC system. So that may be another hint that could help people.
I'm not looking. I'm not.
George, you're
My
terrible.
face is gonna give it away. You're bad, George.
I think there's 15 schools in the UNC system. So let's think of what it could be.
This is terrible.
Okay, while you're thinking, do you want a joke?
Yes, tell us a joke.
Yeah.
Okay, we have two actors here, George and Jane. And why do we tell actors to break a leg?
And we need to add that Jane has the real answer, but you're looking for the joke answer.
The joke
Right.
answer.
Yeah.
Little drum roll.
Okay, because every play has a cast.
Oh, boom.
Because what?
Boo.
What did you say?
Every play has a cast. Get it?
I thought you said task, as in something to do. I was like,
Well, we have that too.
All right, Jane, tell us the trivia answer.
the real answer.
All right. So I never understood why they said break a leg, and I figured, well, you've got two of them, so I would tell people break legs. And then I found out what the real reason for break a leg is. The curtains that hang on the side of the stage are called legs. And when you were in vaudeville, your goal was to get past that curtain and out onto the stage, which would be breaking a leg. So to wish someone good luck who is an actor, you would say break a leg, so that they would get out on stage and get paid that night, another 50 cents.
Yeah.
That's an interesting tidbit. Yeah.
But you
So
do
now
not
we
say
know.
break a leg to a dancer.
Oh, do not say.
No.
Yeah.
You
I thought it was like you would say it so that it wouldn't happen. Like
Yeah.
it's superstitious, like, oh, go break a leg, and then you don't break a leg. Like if you said, go have a great show, and then you didn't have a great show, you might blame the person. But, or like I thought it might have John Wilkes Booth, like,
That's what I said.
yeah,
Jumping
Like-
onto the stage. Yeah.
right, making a grand
Oops.
entrance, maybe,
Yes.
or
And hobbling off.
yeah, into history.
Yeah.
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 No, that's what it's from. And with dancers, and I asked Wendy Osserman about this. I said, what are you supposed to say to a dancer? Because, she's a phenomenal choreographer and has been all over
Yes.
the world. And I'm probably going to say it wrong, but it's meurde. It's French for excrement.
Ah, Mary. Yeah. Why? Why is that the?
It's kind of like, if you say the worst thing, then
Ah.
all good things will happen.
There you go.
Interesting.
There's some sort of Australian thing you say that's similar, and I'd never heard of it before, but our director in Baskerville, Jordan Wolf, used to say it to us. Let me look it up real quick and see what it was, because it was kind of strange. Let me see. Well, Australia, may I look up Australian for break a leg? That's probably not right. Let's see. It's
That would be keep walking.
no, it is. It's chukas.
It's
Yeah,
what?
it's chukas. Chukas is like saying break a leg in Australia, and it means good luck. And it looks like chuk is Australian slang for chicken. And if you had to go, then they would give you a chicken dinner. So chukas is break a leg in
That's
Isn't that,
interesting.
isn't that a brand of shoe?
Imelda, we hardly knew you.
Lucas.
I think Jane from now on, when she is allowed into the room for the podcast, her name needs to be Jane Brainiac Maulucci.
Exactly right. The Brainiac voice.
Thanks,
Oh,
kids.
speaking of brainiacs, I want to. Kathy's not here today, Kathy Morrison, but I did want to give a shout out to the New Bern Historical Society. They're having the virtual presentations of ordinary women,
Extraordinary women.
Ordinary woman, extraordinary deeds. I think, isn't that what it's called?
Whatever. But that it's on there.
It was your voice leading into.
Yes, it is.
Come on, Brainiac. Get it right.
Jane's a voice actor. Anyway, I saw the first presentation, and that was, I think it was Katie Brownell. There we go. She was a
Katie Brownell.
Civil War soldier. So they're really interesting presentations, and I encourage everyone to check them out. Go to the newbernhistorical.org website or their Facebook page and check them out. They're great presentations.
Yeah, there's 5 different actresses who are portraying these 5 different women, and it's really interesting to hear their stories, and these women really embody the characters, and they're phenomenal characters. I had the opportunity, it was like 2 years ago, to work with them in getting this produced, and we worked on the scripts, and then worked on directing the women into these roles. And when they came to present it at the Lunch and Learn, everybody was just overwhelmed. They got a standing ovation, and they had to do it a second time at the library as a free presentation because it was so well received and such wonderful information about these women whose names we may have heard, but we got to learn so much more about them. And Katie Brownell even has a song about her, which is talking about the war and all, but she's quite a figure from history. So it's really interesting to learn all about these ladies and the fact that they were here in our little town.
Yeah, and George, now you can tell your mom she'd just go online. Remember when you kept forgetting to get a ticket to go to the...
Yeah, exactly. I would always remember it after it was sold out. And,
right, yeah.
And that was my excuse for not having to watch it with her, but now I have no excuse. So.
No, you would really enjoy it. You really would. It's very interesting. Just like I really enjoy your small town news podcast.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and I made a note of something you said. Oh, come on. Where did I have so many papers here? It was something about toxic femininity, or
that was no,
I'm joking. I shouldn't have went there.
I'll say this. The picture that I put up today to help promote the podcast was a picture of the Lady Gremlin from Gremlins 2. And what it says is, so one of us may have compared his wife to a gremlin this week. And so to find out who's sleeping on the couch, learn more at the, and it was all in the most loving way. It's talking about being hangry. And we all need to make sure, probably for blood sugar reasons, but we all need to make sure that we eat what we should when we should, or bad things can happen. So I hate to throw you under the bus there, Keith, but
But he was probably hangry when he said that.
May have been.
Yes.
And it's all in fun because Keith and Meredith are actually still newlyweds. Wonderful relationship, but it's been fun. You never really know what's going to come out of your mouth when you're improvising, and so that's an example of that. And also, fair, Keith is our editor. So after we record, some of the stories we don't put in, and Keith chose to include that, so it must be okay. So
wow.
It's all.
He's very brave.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's something to get your mind off of all of the crazy information that's coming at us every day. It's lighthearted podcast, and you guys are funny. So if you want some fun banter, check it out. It's Small Town News podcast.
Yep, yes. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And just to go back to the Historical Society real quick, their next production is today at 2:00, and it's about Bayard Wooten, the photographer in New Bern. And then the one tomorrow is on Dr. Lula Desaswe.
This way.
Yeah.
Is it this way? Okay. So that's and they're both at 2:00. So coming up in a few minutes, and also at 2:00 tomorrow afternoon. So.
And the final one, is that Charlotte Roan, or did that
No,
already
that was the
happen?
one yesterday on
Yes.
Wednesday.
Oh, I missed that, so gotta
Yeah,
check it out.
I missed that one too. I wish I had seen it.
But you can go back and watch them because they're on the YouTube
Yes.
channel as well. So you still can see them.
Yeah,
Yes.
so a lot of great stuff happened within
Yeah.
all the different organizations around town. And what was I gonna say?
I think one of the things that's really cool is that we're just all figuring out new ways to communicate with people and still staying.
Uh-oh.
As
Oh, no.
she's frozen.
Robot. And
Well,
still
she-
stay as robots.
You're frozen, Jane.
Oh no.
You want to say that again?
You were saying we're all figuring out new ways to communicate with each other, and then you froze.
Well, I guess that's the point, isn't it?
So what's the answer to our trivia question?
Yeah.
Okay, where
I
did
have a guess. If no one else has a guess, I have a guess.
I don't have a guess.
But
Okay,
I-
no, there's no comments. So what is it, George?
all right, so we know it's in the United States. We know it's in one particular state, maybe the one we're in, and we know it's a public university. I'm going to go with Pembroke.
You're gonna go right. Yes.
Really?
It's Pembroke
No.
State College for Indians,
Oh,
and
cool.
now it's UNC Pembroke. So
You-
yay, George.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
I don't
Great
know. Once you
job.
play Sherlock, you are Sherlock. I just
Yeah.
don't know. And back to the deer stalker. Oh, nice, nice.
You know, I keep looking. I had the featured artist, and I can't find it. It was.
I
don't
think
know
it's
what
Mother
happened.
Nature.
It is right behind you.
Yeah, right behind me. I painted that. Yeah, right. No, honestly, the Island Creek Trail is just so beautiful, and it's just very peaceful, you know, so great place to relax and unwind. If you like Mother Nature, getting outside. Some people don't like getting out and walking the trails, but we have River Walk. We've got all kinds of different places. So you got shopping and eating.
And I bet you Finn loves it too. All the new smells and stuff, and when you're out on the trails.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
New
doesn't usually
discoveries.
pull me, but when he's at Island Creek, his nose is just going. So yeah.
Does he go swimming?
Oh, he loves to swim. He's crazy, but I'm afraid to take him like to the different. Like I went to, it wasn't Union Point, Glen Burnie Park last year, and he was just swimming on a long lead. I've never let him off the leash. I think he'd just not come back, but he was swimming out to where, you know, past the docks and coming back to me, and a wildlife guy come up and he said, you know, I wouldn't do that if I had a dog. And I'm like, what? And he says, there's alligators that are right off the boat launch here.
Yeah.
And so that was the last time we went, because, you know, it's a great exercise for animals when it's hot. But so the wildlife guy said, if that was my dog, I wouldn't let him in the water here. And he
Yeah.
says, and by the way, there's a copperhead right there on the end of the dock. So, so be careful before you
At Glen Burnie Park. I was just there this morning.
yeah. Yeah, it was right off where the dock is, at the end of the dock. There was an alligator hanging. Maybe he's gone this year, but who knows?
We
So,
have an alligator here in River Bend in our canal, you know.
We
yeah.
were doing some drone training out there this morning, so that would have been really bad because all of us were like this. If we were
I was
probably free for
was-
the snacking.
I was thinking a lot about alligators a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now. Mason and I were in kayaks in the middle of the Neuse and fell out. and had to swim back from the middle. And the whole time I'm thinking, don't let
Oh
me
my
get
God.
by an alligator in front of Mason. Like that would be the worst. Like it would be, so yeah, it's kind of concerning how they're out by the hotel and stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, and there's bull sharks in the news. So
Yeah, I heard about that
that's-
too.
Yeah.
that's there's no way I'd be swimming in the middle of the news. But
I need to learn how to kayak maybe, and not fall out.
I'll take you in my new canoe. It's untippable. You can stand up, lean over, and you can't tip it over. So
Very cool.
Yeah. I don't know. You're
kayak
7
is to
feet
stay in
tall,
it.
so like I'm moored to the ground, so it's I can't tip it over. I've tried, but I wasn't in the middle of the news when that happened. All right, there's no guess.
So did anybody guess it on the New Bern Now Facebook page? No, I was on there, but now I've navigated away.
Okay, maybe it was too difficult. I don't know. George got it. That's because I gave you a hint.
He deduced it.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Right. So let us know if you'd like to be a guest or if you have any questions or suggestions by calling me at 259-6853 or send us an email at info@newbernnow.com. And the guests today were supposed to be Maren Nairn with the Craven Arts Council and Gallery, and Debbie Gibson with Askew's Ace Hardware, and Tommy Bell with the Craven Pamlico Animal Services Shelter. So hopefully we'll have them on next week. And in the meanwhile, join us on August 27th from 1 to 2 as we Zoom live on New Bern Now's Facebook page. The video and audio are uploaded to YouTube, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. And it's also put on newbernnow.com. And it also airs on WNOS 103.9 FM every Wednesday at 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. So,
George?
Is that a wrap, Colleen? That's a wrap, folks. Join us next time where we'll do episode 154. It should be next Thursday at 1 o'clock. If you're a guest, we'll see you then. If you're not a guest, we'll see you then too. If you'd like to be a guest, you can let us know and we can see you both ways. Now, Wendy, take us out.
Woo!
okay, wait, what? I need to cue the music. Thanks for,
Everybody do your robot.
hold on one sec. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
See ya.